Hello everyone, I'm Ansamir. Today I'm gonna show the first game, Gukesh vs Ding, the World Championship match. So, this Gukesh was white and Ding was black. So let's start the game. Gukesh played d4, then e6, this is called the French defense. Then d4, this is called the advanced, another advanced French, this is called the normal French. Then knight c3 is a normal line. Knight f6 is a very popular move. Then e5 is the most common move here, was played by Gukesh. Then knight fd7 is another book move. And over here, one of the main moves is f4. Gukesh did play. Now c5 is one of the main moves for black. This is all theory. The knight ce2 is also in theory. Defend the pawn. The knight c6, c3 to defend the pawn. And then Ding played a5 here. Now over here, bishop e7 would have been a better move just to prepare for castle. But a5 is a nice and aggressive move. Then knight f3 was a good move. Over here, best move probably would have been either bishop e3 or knight f3. Just to develop. Then a4. 3. King plays bishop e7. Try to castle, of course. Then Gukesh played this move g4. Which is a good move. But over here, d takes c5. The best move according to Stockfish. And if you do knight takes c5 here, you're supposed to play knight to g3 or c2. Those are the lines by Stockfish. But yet, this is also a decent move. Then queen a5 was an inaccuracy. The best move over here would have been queen to b6 to attack this pawn and to attack this pawn. But Ding played queen to a5, which isn't a horrible move, not at all. And then bishop to g2, just finished doing. Over here, the best move probably would have been queen c2 or a3, just to put pressure over here and to defend. Bishop g2, not a bad move. Then a3 by Ding. Over here, you can just do b, which is the best move, and Gukesh finds it. Then c takes d4, and Gukesh plays b4 to counter attack the queen. Then queen c7, then knight takes d4, knight to b6 by Ding. With the idea of knight b5, just developing the knight, of course. But then Gukesh castles. The knight c4 was played by Ding, just putting the knight on an outpost. Then bishop f2 is retreating the bishop out of the attack. Then bishop d7 by Ding, developing the bishop. Queen e2 was played. Over here, a better move would have been knight d2, which is really hard to find. Takes. Because this knight is just really good according to Stockfish, and you need to trade. This knight is on a really good outpost, but queen e2 is not a bad move. The knight takes d4 was played. Taking the knight, Gukesh played knight takes d4. Over here, a better move would have been bishop takes d4. I don't know why. Stockfish just likes it. I think it's because of f5 or g5. Stockfish is recommending h5 followed by knight g5 and g5. Knight takes is an excellent move. The knight b2 was played by Ding, just putting his knight over here, anchored by the pawn. Then Gukesh played queen to e3. Over here, a better move would have been bishop e1, which is just a really hard move to find to defend the pawn. But that's a natural move to defend the pawn. But then rook to c8 was played by Ding to attack it. Then rook a c1 by Gukesh. The best move again would have been bishop e1. Fine too. Queen c4 by Ding, just putting pressure over here on everything. The queen is on a really nice square. Then f5 was played by Gukesh. Now f5 is considered a mistake because the move queen d3, which Ding did play. And then Gukesh played queen to e1, which is a mistake. Over here, g5 would have been a better move. Just continue the attack, just like that. But yeah, that was a hard move to find. And the idea of this move was if you take, then knight takes, then rook c2, and over here just castle, or Stockfish recommends castle as well as bishop d8, but castle, and then this was just a bad position. Black, because this knight is on a really good square. The pawns also a little bit weak. With the idea of pawn takes, sacrificing the bishop, taking the pawn over here. Maybe that can be a possible idea. Really not the best one. But that did not happen. Queen e1 happened in the game. And over here, bishop g5 was just winning. And Ding did play. Then rook c2 by Gukesh, just protecting the rook. Then rook c4 was played by Ding. Then h4 by Gukesh, just attacking the bishop and continuing the attack over here. Bishop f4 was played by Ding, attacking over here and attacking near the king. Queen b1 was played by Gukesh, threatening to take the knight because of the attack on the queen. And if you take, you just take with the rook. But of course, he took the free pawn. Rook takes, queen takes rook, and then f takes e6, just taking a pawn. Over here, a better move over here would have been knight e2 to attack the queen as well as the bishop at the same time. Then queen takes e5, knight takes f4, queen takes f4, and then over here you go queen to c2. Just threaten a lot of things. This file as well as over here. The queen is on a really nice square on c2. That didn't happen. After queen takes c3, Gukesh took the pawn, then f takes, then knight e2 by Gukesh, and then queen takes e5 happened, then knight takes f4. This is kind of the exact same line that I showed earlier, but queen c2 is much worse because this file is open. Over here, a better move would have been bishop 5, just not allowing the king to castle and attacking this file. But Gukesh played queen c2 and Ding played queen c4. Queen d2 was played by Gukesh. But here, a better move would have been queen. This is also a good move. Then short castles. Then bishop to d4, just attacking the king. Knight d3 was played, blocking the defense of the bishop. And then queen to e3, just defending the bishop again. Rook takes f1, bishop takes f1, pitting the knight to the queen. Then e5 was played by Ding, attacking the bishop. And if you take, you go queen d4, a free pawn with check. And now the bishop is attacked. Or bishop g3 is the best move, but let's say you do something like that, then you can just take the pawn. And it's just absolutely just queen g4. And if you go there again, Stockfish is for some reason saying to repeat. Okay, Stockfish saying just repeat for no reason. Okay, now it is saying good h5. That's the line. But that did not happen. Bishop d2 was played, and then bishop f5 by Ding. Then bishop g3 was played by Gukesh. Just to stop this attack, and then bishop e4 by Ding. Quite a hard move to find. With the idea of takes, d takes e4, and now there's just a really big attack here, and of course you're up a knight. I mean, you're kind of up a knight because this is a spin, and just really hard to save this, and this knight is on a really good square. But that did not happen. King to h2 happened. h6, bishop h3 attacking the queen. Queen to d1 to just keep protecting the knight, and come here, attack, and of course to. Then bishop d6 was played by Gukesh, allowing the king to go to g3. Then queen to c2 check, forking the king and the pawn. Takes the pawn. Bishop e6 check. King to h8. Gukesh is down 3 pawns. This pawn is nearly queening, and this is just a totally winning position. Black. The king is on a really bad square as well. You're just gonna get mated because this queen is gonna be made. And Gukesh resigned here. So that was the first game of the championship match. It was a really good game. So I'll also make videos about all of the other matches. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I live stream daily on YouTube to 10 Kick. See you in a live stream. Another video.